Hi, welcome to the video. My name's Dychronic, and today I'm taking a look at the Xur, his inventories, render rules, my recommendations, and locations, etc., for October 28th, 2022. You can find the Xur in his regular spot on Nessus. Just head over to the Watcher's Grave, and on this big old tree right here, you can find the Xur on this big old branch. You know, I've never been up. Oh wait, no, I have tried to get up there. There was a barrier in death. There's a barrier in death. Yep. I don't even need to try. I just know because I know I would have tried. This is a high overview in case this is all you cared about. First step for the weapon today, we've got the QUEENBREAKER. Now, the QUEENBREAKER is a special weapon in the fact that nobody uses it anymore for anything, because Sleeper does more DPS, more total damage, and legendaries often do as well, and are legendary, not exotic. Seems to be that the only real use for this is going to be in PvP and linear heavies, not really PvP stuff. Not exactly sure what they need to do with this, but it's not very good. Following that, we have the Hunter exotic known as KHEPRI'S Sting. Actually, an exotic that's banned in competitive play. If you didn't know there's competitive play for this game, it's not very big, but it is. Where essentially, punching somebody with a full melee instantly casts your smoke bomb, and you gain true sight from your own smoke bomb effect. And this includes regular smoke bomb effects. And furthermore, your smoke bombs do increase damage. And of course, true sight is the ability to see enemies through walls at any distance with a full silhouette. Yes, it gives you literal wall hacks when you're in your smoke bomb effect. And obviously, only during smoke bomb, but you can call out a lot of different things to your teammates and have a very significant advantage. However, very high skill floor, high skill ceiling exotic. As far as the role goes, I like to see a lot of strength and mobility, and it does have that. Although low recovery, not really the best, but total 64, pretty good. If you like this idea, I would recommend it. And it's got a moving bug on it. Look at it, it's so cute. Does it have an ornament? Oh, I wish I had an ornament for like a bunch of different animals. Like, imagine it's just like Varric's, like, his head is right here. Following that, we have the Titan exotic known as ACD Feedback Fence, which, fun fact, it is literally the armor that's in my channel banner. However, this exotic is not very good in Destiny 2. Melee hits build up energy, and being struck by a melee attack, it reduces incoming damage by a pretty good amount and unleashes an energy and a devastating explosion. That technically can kill somebody martyrdom style, and technically makes it so you're 3-hit melee, but by the time you're being meleeed, usually you're already dead. When it comes to this particular item, I guess you like to see a lot of strength because you're going to be in melee range, mobility, resilience, recovery. It has most of those, and total 65 is above average, so not a bad roll, but kind of a bad exotic. And finally, for the Warlock exotic, we have the Getaway Artist, an exotic that I've been using for a while for the Arc 3.0 stuff, although there are better options, although I'm wearing a mask, so I can't use the other two helmets. Essentially, you convert your Arc Soul Grenade by holding down the grenade button for an autonomous turret on your shoulder. However, this is going to be a super powered Arc Soul, not just like the regular Rift based. Keeping in mind that if you cast the grenade thing of this, and then you walk into your Rift with Arc Soul, it actually refreshes the better version, so you can keep your grenade up pretty much the whole time. As far as the role goes, you like to see a lot of discipline. For Warlocks, you'd like to see a lot more recovery, and I think that this is either PvP or PvE. Resilience is going to be really nice. And of course, we have strength, which is not super necessary, so not a great distribution on an exotic that's probably top 15, top 20. After that, let's take a look at the legendary weapons. Whispering SLAB, Killing Wind Demolitionist. I forget what you can have on this, but this seems like a decent PvE role, and it is a kinetic bow, which is not super common. Following that, we have a Wolf Tone Draw, which is Impulse Dragonfly. Not my favorite, definitely could do better on this for sure. Following that, we have a Dire Promise and Autoloading Osmosis, which is a very weird combination. This is one of those higher mag 140s with lower range. You definitely want to get as much range as you can, and this is definitely not it. Following that, the Ikelos, Feeding Frenzy, Impact Reserve. I think the sight on this is kind of annoying, and it doesn't have Snapshot as an option, so not my favorite. Following that, Far Future, another sniper that does not have Snapshot on it, and I'm not really a big fan of this role either. After that, Honor's Edge, Relentless, and On Guard, not my favorite. I do still like Relentless Vorpal, Relentless Whirlwind. Relentless is just a great perk to have. More ammo is always really nice. On Guard, never really used it that much. And finally, we have the Night Watch, which does have the potential of having explosive payload, and almost every time you can have explosive payload, you go for an explosive payload, and it really changed this weapon. This role, not terrible, but definitely could be a lot better because of explosive payload. After that, let's take a look at the legendary armors. First up is going to be a 63. Let me just check this, make sure that there's no shader. Okay, there's no shader to get from this, but it's 63, which is going to be intellect, strength, and mobility. Not really what I usually look for. Definitely like a lot more resilience, recovery, discipline. 62 with recovery, mobility, strength, maybe, but I don't really like a high mobility. 57 is pretty low mobility, strength, not really interested, and a 59 high resilience may fit with your build, but definitely not the average I would expect. Following that, let's take a look at the different exotic weapons. First up, we have an Eye of the Storm Hawkmoon with a recoil direction applied, which is something you can see here. And again, my recommendation is always going to be get rangefinder plus one of these saying recoil direction. That will bring it up to a full 100, and the rest should be about handling and range. After that, we have the DMT, which is going to be Vorpal, and usually I recommend on Vorpal or moving target, at least one of these having a recoil direction, because this is going to be 89 up to 99, and that's pretty good. The rest of it, up to you. You could have range, handling, etc. And of course, if you don't have this quest, you should pick it up. It's basically free exotic ciphers to spend on exotic engrams, or you can spend them on the archive, which I would recommend. And of course, the exotic engram, which is guaranteed to give you an exotic that you do not have, and it's a high stat roll. In this particular instance, I got nothing manacles, and I got Vespers of Radius. 62, resilience, not that great, and then Vespers, 63, yeah. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And of course, just want to give a big thank you to some of my patrons on Patreon. Specifically, a big thank you to Mom and Dad, Monday, Steve Watkins, Union Panther, Casey Reagan, and Marcus Clever for their support on Patreon. And that's it. Hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you guys on the next one.